Hey everybody.
Hi,
Hi
everybody.
from Cali. It's Andrea and I tonight. Tawana is being super mom this evening and at an event with her children. So I'm sure that's gonna be great. Is being super mom this evening and at an event with her children. Why was that up? Anyway, so the Facebook group, we just want to remind you guys to hit up our Facebook group, the Tea Ladies. If you guys have any questions for us or suggestions for topics that you want us to talk about, if you have any products or anything like that that you want to ask us about that you see on the show or that you're interested in, or if you just have any feedback for us, that'd be great too. We always are open to any constructive criticism and feedback over at the Tea Ladies Facebook page. So hit us up over there, and we'll be looking for you. Okay. Now this week, our topic of the week was inspired by the Tammy and Waka show. Okay.
Yes.
There's our link to the Tea Ladies Facebook group. If you guys want to go over there and hit us up and have any things that you want to share with us. Now, the topic of the week is going to be, what do you do when co-parenting goes wrong and there's a lack of communication between the parents? And Andrea was inspired to ask this question because of the Tammy and Waka show, and they are currently co-parenting her daughter Charlie, right?
Yes. Yes. Charlie is 16 now. 16. And
She's 16,
yeah,
16, 17, something like that.
16 and 17. But
Right.
now that her and Waka has broken up, Charlie went to a party and it was shot at, and then Tammy didn't tell Waka. A friend of Tammy's and Waka told Waka, and he was upset. He was upset because he was saying, why you didn't tell me? And and he was saying,
Right.
excuse me, he was saying that she would I don't know. She gave him some layers because why she didn't tell him, but I didn't understand that. So like he's been in Charlie's life since she was a little girl,
Right.
and he feels like that's his daughter. So and he paying for everything. Why you not tell him? Why not? And sometimes I think Tammy wants Waka to be a father to Charlie, but then in the other sense, she don't tell him about this.
Right.
It's okay for him to pay for stuff. It's okay for him to send her to private school, but you not telling him that she went to a party and was shot up.
Right. No, I agree with that. I mean, it's so many instances, right, where co-parenting can go terribly wrong, right?
Yes.
I
I
mean,
mean,
communication is already like everything, just in a relationship, period, I think.
mm-hmm.
So, and usually one of the reasons why a relationship doesn't work out is because the communication isn't that great.
Yes.
So, i.e., it's imperative that you have good communication in order to have a really good co-parenting scheme or co-parenting situation. And I think that's where the struggle comes in at, is that, you got two people who maybe weren't great communicators to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then here we are now raising this child together, or finishing up, parenting this child together. And it becomes increasingly difficult because we're not good at communicating, you know.
I just think she's being unfair to Walker. Like, it's okay for him to pay for stuff, buy stuff, do things, but
Mm-hmm.
then you call him and tell him where his daughter was, where it was gunfire and bullets don't got no name. And
True.
so you don't even tell him that she's at a party with kids who got guns and stuff. And
Right.
so I thought personally it was a lack of disrespectful to Waka. Tammy, just that was, I thought it was like a disrespectful to him.
Mm-hmm.
And bad, very bad.
Right. I mean, there are other instances where co-parenting goes wrong because of communication, right? Like even with Jock and the one the
Oh
twin
yes.
brother,
What's her name?
about Kendra having to hit her up on social media to
Yeah.
even ask her could her daughters be a part of the wedding. I mean, I felt like that was Jock's responsibility. You know,
Yes.
if your new wife is asking, can, or your future wife is asking, can your kids be in your wedding? You need to communicate that to their mom, and say something. You don't leave that up to the other woman or the fiance to contact her to see if the kids are going to be able to come to the wedding. I mean, that's just.
And the one thing that I didn't understand, I thought it was disrespectful because y'all waited to the last minute. You knew
Mhm.
you knew you was getting married. You had a date already set. You paid for the venue. You could have told this girl months. And sometimes I think it's a lack of disrespect.
You think it's disrespect?
Yes, because I don't have co-parenting go wrong too. So, I think it's a lack of disrespect for the other person.
Hmm.
I think it's a lack of disrespect, and basically we ain't together, and I don't give a damn. That's how I feel like they. That's what they say.
Where like it's a thing where I don't care how much I hurt you or inconvenience you,
Yes.
because you hurt me and inconvenienced me, and my life is where it is now. So
Yeah.
screw you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do whatever I want to do.
Yeah. So I think to me, I feel like when co-parenting go wrong, it's a lack of disrespect on the other person.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that, and I think that it's more common than it isn't. I can only imagine how difficult it is to co-parent. I mean, I would like to think that if I was ever in that situation, I would be a great co-parent, because I would try to think of the kids first and foremost above all things. I mean, I think that sometimes even in friendships, you co-parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that, even for us in our friendship, there have been times where, just like a relationship, we have ebbs and flows in our real life friendship, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that's never, for us, that's never involved our kids, because our kids grew up together. Our kids both see us as resources and as their moms, per se. And
Yes.
so, whether or not we're like at an A+ spot in our friendship, we could be like at a D- in our friendship, and
Yes.
we're still gonna be there for the kids and show up
Yes.
for kids and all that. Um,
Yes.
that's the only part. That's the only like example for me of co-parenting that I know about, or
Mm-hmm.
that I experienced firsthand. So it is difficult, but I feel like it's necessary. Like
I
the
mean,
only person you have for.
sometimes they always say, co-parenting is, all that nuclear family bullshit. That co-parent can be a bitch. That co-parent
Nuclear
can
family
be,
bullshit.
yeah, that nuclear family bullshit. They
What?
say, yeah, that's what they call the co-parenting now. The nuclear family. That co-parenting, what nobody don't tell you that it's a bitch, okay? When your ex-husband
I
don't want your daughter to get a breast reduction, and I'm like, okay, we doing this, whether you like it or not. Is that's the, and you gotta make medical decisions. That's a bitch,
that
and
that is
they don't tell you that they don't tell you that. So I'm
that is
just saying, when they say
difficult.
that nuclear family, I be like, that's that bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I totally understand that, and I do think sometimes, even without really like consciously wanting to, that
Mm-hmm.
parents take cheap shots at each other through the kids,
True. True.
right? Like maybe for Tammy, that was like a little cheap shot
Mm-hmm.
that she did, to be like, I don't know, that not only did you, because what's gonna hurt Waka more? Like, it's like, I know I hurt you by cheating and by disrespecting the marriage and all of that, but
Mm-hmm.
I do think that she wants to hurt him in the sense that not only did you do that to me, but you also did it to Charlie.
Yes.
And I
But
don't think that men think that. I don't think that, oh, well, I shouldn't say men. I don't think that people think about that sometimes when they're just.
well, the men that I know, they be like, what do the kids got to do with me and you?
I mean, the kids have to do with the relationship, and the kids have to do with seeing how you're supposed to treat someone in a relationship. I mean, yes, the kids have their own relationship with their father,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or with their mother.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're also looking to you to see how to act in a relationship, whether that's together or apart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So sometimes they learn good things about how to be together. sometimes they learn horrible things about how to be together and apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes they learn a lesson. They learn lessons from you and are like, I don't ever want to be like that if I'm a parent, even if I'm not with, my child's father or mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. But I hope they got better communication because it does take a village to raise a child, and the safety is number one issue. And if Waka feel like Charlie it's not safe where she going, yeah, he gonna be overreacting and probably hire a bodyguard.
You think he gonna hire a bodyguard?
That's what Tammy was afraid of. That's why she didn't tell him.
Oh, is that why she said she didn't tell him?
Because
That
she
she
knew
was
he was
afraid
going. She
to
said
hire a
he was going
bodyguard.
to react and buy and hire a bodyguard, and he had to follow everywhere she go. I mean, at the end of the day, you are a celebrity. You can be targeted for ransom and anything. So I can understand his concerns,
Right.
and they're valid concerns. And she got lack of concerns, and I'm confused. That's your daughter,
right?
so
So we agree that communication is a key component to co-parenting. You really need to work on having, even if your communication was not great in the relationship, it's very, very important to work on your communication even after the relationship might be over, because for the children. Hey chat, we appreciate you being in there, hanging in there with us. How you doing? It's hot out here in Cali. If anybody know Andrea, she used to have her channel, used to be hot in Cali. She have no idea. Y'all have no idea how hot it is out here right now.
yeah, it is. So
For days it's been.
it
But
is.
anyway, on to our hit it or quit it portion of our show. Okay, hit it or quit it. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta this past week.
That, mm.
How you felt about Atlanta this past week?
Do I think Bammy should stay out of it? Yes, I do. I think Bammy's Kendra with her don't know how to do shit right. Okay, I think she took
But
it up.
but Erica was the one who said, "You tell her." Erica was like, "You tell her. You tell your friend." But I think the circumstances are different.
Yeah.
I think that Erica and Safari didn't have that type of quote unquote arrangement that
Mm-hmm.
Kid Jock may have. And we mentioned that last week. If
Mm-hmm.
anybody remembers, we
Yes.
said, I
My wife.
wonder, we asked that question, did Kendra know about
Mm-hmm.
that stuff prior? And I said, I bet you that she knew at
She
least a
already.
portion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
he was very confident in his
mm-hmm.
portrayal of the fact that my wife has privy to whatever is going on out there. Like, he was real confident
Mm-hmm.
saying that to the guys. And I was like, it's only
Well,
one way I say something like that. And
she said that she knew about the baby she been paying for. I
she
mean,
said she knew too.
at the,
Were you surprised when she said she knew?
I'm not surprised, but at the end of the day, if you want a man with 14 kids and he got cheating tendencies, keep him, baby. Okay,
That's one of the ones that they can have.
they can have him.
You can keep that when you ain't mad. Jock is off the market.
No, and he already populating the world already. He populated the world a lot. Okay, so he got 14 kids, and I don't know how many baby mamas.
Him and Nick Cannon is going toe for is going.
If
Back
Kendra was Jock and she love him and she know about his cheating tendencies, keep him. If you like it, I love it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because to me, you already know about his cheating tendencies, and you know. So that what that says to me is you married him on the premise that he got cheating tendencies. You already know.
Right. And then what I didn't know was something you said last week. Like, I was never really aware that Kendra didn't want children.
Yeah, she said, "Well, she want no kids." She said,
Right.
"You
So
kids."
I mean that plays into it too. And I've always said that it's not about everybody fitting into a certain mold, right? It's not about everybody doing the same thing in a relationship and fitting into a particular mold where we all do the same things, right? It's really about finding your person who wants to
Yeah.
live in the same way you want to live. And if
Mm-hmm.
Kendra doesn't want any kids, if she's not tripping about the past infidelities and things like that, if she's not tripping about how many children that he has,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm like, more power to you.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I'm
my thing
glad
is,
you found your person. Like,
yeah,
I ain't mad at it.
yeah, I'm not mad.
If
And
that's how you choose to live, it'd be different if that's not what she was choosing and he was doing all that behind her back.
yes,
That would be messed up. That
yeah,
wouldn't be cool at all. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that's where we be like, oh, that's messed up. Like how you gonna be doing that behind her back and she don't know that you doing that? That's
yeah.
messed up.
So my thing is, she already knew, and now what makes me mad is the acting. She a bad actor. With that
With
fake
that
cry.
with that cry, she had to.
Yeah, with that fake motherfucking cry. I'm like, girl,
Oh God.
you. I said, so she was really acting. My mama, my daddy, girl. You
She was
put it
she was
on
trying
for the
to get
camera.
to him.
You was putting it on for the camera, but you go right ahead and keep your trade shit coming. I ain't
She
mad
really
with
was. She really
you. Yeah,
was. I give it to Kendra. She was putting
yeah,
it on. But that's why in one of our old questions when we was talking about like how real do you think reality TV is? I mean, to be honest with you, it's one of the reasons why I like the competition shows.
mm-hmm.
Because in the competition shows, there are certain things that you can't anticipate all the time another person's behavior. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to react in the moment. And in that moment, oh baby, that's when the real reality TV stuff comes out. That's when it really, really happens. All right, the Bell Collective. Have you watched it at all? The Bell Collective?
The Bell Collective. No, I haven't watched the Bell Collective.
Yeah, season 2.
No, I
So
haven't.
they're on. So I watch it I don't want to say periodically, but what I've realized lately is that I'm watching shows like one week I'll double watch like a certain amount of shows. Like I'll watch 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So since everything records, it's like I'm not binging the whole week. But like if last week I watched like Alone and 60 Days In and certain things, then the next week I'll double watch other things, and then I may not have time to watch the other things. Bell Collective is one of the shows that I watch primarily by myself. It ain't no show that husbands are into, but it is a great show about 5 black balling women in Jackson, Mississippi. I do find it the most relatable. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I was thinking about like women that I would hang out with,
Okay.
I feel like the Bell Collective is the most relatable um show. Like I feel like I don't know, it's something about Southern women sometimes that I feel like even though they have like this air, like that not I don't want to say churchy, but like that put go
Who's
ahead.
the Who's the girl in the yellow? The girl in the yellow. She has short hair. She in the
Oh,
yellow.
the Andrea on the show for me. Yes.
Okay.
I think that's Latrice.
Is her husband cheating on her?
Her husband has cheated on her. He has cheated before. They
So he
have
got.
a
So
son.
so number one, he got cheating tendencies too.
He has cheating tendencies because he works on an oil rig.
Okay.
So they usually go away for I think 2 to 3 months or so at a time.
Mm-hmm.
They work and then they home for a couple weeks and then they go back out for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that she's my Andrea of the show is
Mm-hmm.
because Latrice has really come into her own.
Okay.
right? Like she's, to me, she started out as like she was trying to be a housewife and trying to be a mom and trying to be a good partner and
Okay.
all of that, and trying to be probably what she was raised up to be, right? And then now it's like, now that reality TV has forward her a great opportunity that she might not have normally had,
Mm-hmm.
and the tables have turned for her and her husband. And now it's like she's the boss in the relationship, and she's the badass, and she's the one who's making, money. And I think that he's realizing exactly what he had, when maybe he didn't realize that as much. I think he thought, oh, she always gonna be around, she ain't going nowhere type.
So is he one cheat with one of the girls in the group? I'm just asking. I think I said a clip like that. Is he the one cheat with one of the girls in the group?
No, I don't think he cheated with one of the girls in the group. They did say that he had an outside baby. His name Glenn.
Mm. Yeah, he like Glenn. I seen him.
His name Glenn,
Mm.
and she got a best friend. I forget everybody's name when I'm not, because you watch so many different shows, so I feel like you got all these different friendship groups or whatever.
Mm.
But the lady who is supposed to be like her best friend, she have a little short haircut too, but she have another lady that she's really good friends with, and she is going through it because her son's baby mama was killed.
Oh wow.
She was shot. You remember that story? It wasn't her, but do you remember the story of the girl who got shot while she was walking down the street in New York, and she had
Yes.
a baby in a stroller? This
Yes.
girl was kind of like the same circumstances. The child was with her, and somebody killed her
Oh wow.
while the child was with her. So now her and her son have custody of the child.
Okay. Okay.
And she just kind of going through it because her husband was a cheater too.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't her son's dad, but he was his stepdad, and he was a cheater. And I don't know, she just kind of going through it. I don't know, I see real women when I watch that show. I see real women going through real life things, and that who have been through real life things. So I definitely think it's a hit it in your free time, when you don't have a lot to do, to like hit up the Bell Collective and give on some of your time. It's a pretty good show. I watched it the first season, and I will say that they hair, we always critique they hair and they makeup and they clothes, because we be
This
like, ain't
season,
it
this
some
season, the makeup and
hairstylists?
the hair is on point.
Yes. We be
This
like,
season,
ain't it some hairstylists in the city, some makeup artists, somebody who want to get put on, right? Who
yeah,
would do it for free if they had to, just because you on TV? Well,
yeah.
yeah, they
This
they
season, they,
they have stepped up. Everybody is looking quite beautiful and well put together on the show this season.
yeah,
So check it out. Check it out. And the
yeah. This
husbands are getting more involved as well too. So check it out. The Bell Collective is pretty good. It's on. Comes on tonight, I believe. Um, Big Brother.
okay.
That's my jam.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bro is my jam. And they down to like the final 7, and they just did a double eviction. And I only got
Black
through,
people out yet?
huh?
I kicked the black people out yet?
No. Okay. So here go the thing. So remember I said in the last episode, in
Mm-hmm.
episode 6 that we did, that it was a race thing with Kaya, right? So they kicked Kyle out,
Okay.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
still 3 black people left. Like Kyle wasn't wrong, but he wasn't right either. Like nobody was planning an alliance,
Mm-hmm.
but if they had done things like how Terrence, the older guy, was saying, they could have effectively still did something as an alliance, even though it's only down to the 7 people. I mean, what I'm seeing this season is it's making me question, like, how long do you stay loyal
Hmm.
in a friendship, or in a relationship with someone, right? Like, because in the situations this season, loyalties are changing like every episode, right? Because
Yes.
the person that somebody was loyal to is getting voted out. So you gotta bend and flex and adjust, right? And I'm wondering, it's making me think about, like, is that fair? Like, is that a fair thing? Like, when you have friendships in your life, that during the ebbs and flows, what that other person does is, yeah, they have other friends that they tap into, or other loyalties that they tap into, when maybe the friendship that you have with them is in an ebb.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, it seemed like in other seasons, it's like, you people make final twos in the beginning, and they able to stick with that final two or final three, like all the way till, like, at least almost the end. This time, there are still alliances being made in with when there's the final six and final seven.
I think you don't. You need to, before you start making alliances. I think you should be in the house at least a couple weeks, so you can know each other.
Even though people put a lot of time into their alliance, like people come later and they say the only difference, people have come in the end and said the only difference between, hey Gail at night, people have said the only difference between their loyalty to one alliance versus another alliance was
Mm-hmm.
that they made that alliance on, like, day one or day two
Yeah, but
of being in
then
the house.
I mean, I need to see how you move a little bit. I need to let me stay on the radar. Let me see how you move. Making a lines real quick. I think that's what that it could be a problem.
I agree. I
Hold
agree
on.
with that. I agree with that, because I vet my friends like I would vet anybody else, right? Like, I try to take my time. But at the same time, like, if you don't kind of declare allegiance or declare some type of like, loyalty
Mm-hmm.
to a person, you could get lost in the shuffle, right? Like, somebody else could just blanketly, not even in real life, but somebody just blanketly in the beginning say, oh, hey, me and you should work together. And then it ends up, you guys are close to the final, and you guys stay with that, right? Because it's like, you know what? The one thing that we have for
I will say
everybody else is that we've been together since the beginning.
I would say I would not on the first night, maybe the second or the third, but not. I mean, let me see how you move a little bit.
I can't do it on the first night. We can't do it on the first night.
Yeah,
I wouldn't let nobody hit it on the first night. So I definitely ain't making no alliances on the
yeah.
first night.
So I would not be making alliance too quick. I just understand.
Right. I don't feel like like, I feel like what you're saying, you
Yes,
don't know somebody
and
enough to
then the
make an
minute you
alliance.
get alliance, and then oh, say you got head of household, then if you ain't really loyal to that person, you be kicking them out.
But people are really, like, how can I say it? Like, so what has happened is, since they kicked the one guy Kyle, the white guy, out, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did Terrence, who's on the block right now, the older black guy, the
Mm-hmm.
DJ. He's saying that he from Chicago, cool guy, married. He's saying to the other two black people, Taylor and oh God, his name just slipped my mind right now. I forget the other black guy's name, but he's saying to them, even though it wasn't our plan from the beginning to have an alliance, we could have an alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now we're down to the final six or seven, and yeah, I'm on the block, but we could work together. Like, even though we weren't trying to work together, and there was a part of the season that we were actually trying to throw each other under the bus, what's stopping us from working together now? And why, as black people, do we feel that we can't do it two seasons in a row? Like, why do we feel like, oh, like last season, they did X, Y, and Z, and so now we don't want to scare everybody by winning again, this season? No, forget that. You know what? We can win again.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that's what's going on Big Brother. Tune in. That, to me, I'm gonna always say Big Brother has a lot of real world type streamlining to it. When you watch Big Brother, you will definitely find instances in your own regular life that will help you not navigate real life relationships and real life loyalties and situations. Now we also had we had season, is it season 7? I'm not sure of the season, but we're on the first episode of Teen Mom: The Next Chapter is what they're calling this new Teen Mom. Is Teen Mom: The Next Chapter, and most of the teen moms who were on the original Teen Mom and who were on Teen Mom 2, and also Zach and Cheyenne, who were actually met on the challenge and had a child together. They are also there. They are. They're also on Teen Mom: The Next Chapter, and the first episode aired. Andrea actually upped us on game that there was an incident where they were shot at in their vehicle, and their children were actually in the car. They got more in depth about that incident on this first episode. What you think about
it? Was one of their friends. It was
yeah,
one of their friends.
Somebody that they knew.
That they knew. So yeah, who y'all hanging out with?
That, you know what? That's kind of what I said too. I'm like, and Zach also had the charge where he was arrested when they came on their way back from Jamaica at the airport. I mean, I don't know about nobody else, but they getting y'all asses at the airport right now.
Like, I'm just thinking, who y'all hanging out with that they shot up your car with your babies in it?
13 bullets hit the car.
Yeah. So did y'all owe them some money?
Well, allegedly, there was a woman that Zach, I want to say, don't quote me, but I want to say that Zach swindled out of $6,000.
Oh, okay.
So there's that. I did see that on the internet. I hope that that's not true. I'm
disappointed in MTV. I'm disappointed because they act like, oh, Zach is a good guy. Zach is no good man, blah, blah. But this fool got robbing in people's houses. This fool got a criminal record. I would have stayed with Corey ass. What the hell? And MTV act like, oh, he's such a good guy. I'm like, huh? To find this out, and plus my kids was in the car. Not only I have a child with you, I have a child with somebody else. Yes. So I ain't feeling this. I ain't feeling this at all. And Corey might be acting the damn fool. I'm just saying.
Right. I don't know what to think. I'm very disappointed in the Zach situation. I totally thought great things about Zach, right? I totally believed the narrative that he was like her high school sweetheart. Yes. And that they just maybe met too soon, and she went to an opportunity to be on MTV and to be on Are You the One, and she took that opportunity and ran with it, and then she ended up on the challenge and met Corey, and things just went to a different space, but that they linked up. Like I totally believed in this kind of love story, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't understand for the life of me is this whole situation with Zach and charges that he's had, and criminal stuff, and I'm like, Zach? Yes. Like, for real? Mm-hmm. Like, y'all thought Corey was the bad boy, and here comes Zach.
Yes.
I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed in
MTV. I'm disappointed now that I know who he really is.
Now that you know who he really is.
Okay.
So why are you disappointed in them? I mean, they can't. Are you disappointed because
they didn't know that he was already breaking into houses? They didn't know that. Cheyenne didn't disclose that, so she lied too. What else? My mama always say, if you lied about something small, what else you lied about? Cheyenne, what else you ain't telling us, Cheyenne? So I'm like,
Oh, I mean, I always look at Cheyenne and Zach and Corey. Like, I think they're such an inspiration to young people about, like how we said at the beginning, co-parenting. Like they do things together with Ryder. Zach was actually with her when she had Ryder. They
mhm.
were together at that time when she was pregnant and stuff like that. Like I just thought how they moved, even though yeah, it had its challenges, of course, but I just felt like how they moved was such an inspiration to other young parents, that you don't have to do it in a mean, disrespectful, hurtful way, right? But
Yes.
this is just disappointing.
Even like it's acting up.
I don't know. I don't know. It's disappointing, Zach and Cheyenne. I wanted you to get it together. But on the same show, some of our originals are on there. Amber is on there, and she's doing better with her daughters. She went to her daughter's birthday and her birthday dinner, and they had a because their relationship was estranged
Mm-hmm.
last season of Teen Mom 2 or whatever they were on. Their relationship was estranged, and she didn't really want to have nothing to do with Amber.
Okay. That's
And
good.
then, yeah. And then Amber will be having a challenge with that new husband she had,
Okay.
that she had the son with. He trying to move back to California. Because he from Cali. He was a producer, a TV producer on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and he from California.
Okay. Hmm.
He was a weirdo to me.
I mean, to me personally, I always thought he got her pregnant because he wanted a paycheck.
You think that paycheck is bigger than just being a producer on the show?
Well, when the last time he had a job, she been paying child support, and he been living in her house. Okay, so he was ordered to live in her house. She's been paying the mortgage, and she been paying child support. So, what did he got to be doing?
True,
So,
true.
I'm just saying. So yeah, that's my point.
No, that's your point.
That's my point. So, just saying. Power Amber. See what rap type.
Just
Understand. I could have seen that. I seen that a mile away.
and then Brianna is on the show. Brianna, I used to want her to be on Teen Mom too, and she wasn't for a long time. She has the daughter Nova with Devon, or Devoyne
Mm-hmm.
is his actual name, Devoyne. And I guess the other baby daddy, Lewis,
Mm-hmm.
signed over his parental rights. You think that's going to be good, or you think that's better or more detrimental to the little girl?
It depends on was he in her life? Was he in and out? Sometimes like
He was in and out. He was Lewis would come and then not be around for months.
see
There were times
see
when
and
she looks at Devon like a father. She looks
okay.
at Devon, her older sister's father. She looks
Mm,
at him like a father.
and my thing is, if you really love your daughter, you gonna go ahead and give up your rights. So
Yeah.
what that say about you? What that say about you and your character? You just gonna sign them up? Okay.
Yeah.
What they say about you? That's what I saw. I say, what they say about you?
And she a beautiful little girl too.
So what do I say? And then they say, if you when you, I mean, what do
She
you say?
also she also has been. I think she this season she gets diagnosed with bipolar.
Okay, which I thought she had anyway. I'm glad she got a diagnosis. Okay,
You
thought
thought
she had
Brianna had that anyway?
it. Yes, I did.
Now there has been some a little scandal
Mhm.
with the should we say African American, or is it, you think it's okay I just say black
What
when
is it?
referring to people?
Yeah,
Black
you know,
African American. I ain't trying to offend nobody. I'm just saying it. So the black girl Ashley, right?
Oh, okay.
That's from Cali. She is with the guy Bar with the
Mhm.
tattoos on his face. So apparently on the reunion, is it the reunion? It's a reunion that they do where they all get together or something. Apparently somewhere she spit on
That that's slap nasty. That's called for fighting words.
she spit on either Brianna or her mom. The moms got into it, which is I think is so weird, right? Like Ashley's mom and Brianna's mom got into it. They both feisty women, right? And
Hitting is
Brianna's mom said something to Ashley's
nasty.
mom,
That's nasty.
but
That's,
mind you, Ashley is pregnant.
who does that? See, that's why I keep watching these shows because I be want. It's been on me, and it's a problem. That's nasty.
That's super nasty. So so in some states, spitting on somebody is considered assault.
They should make it assault.
And Florida, I believe, is one of those states. So now she is talking about suing or pressing charges against Ashley
Mm.
for assault.
That's just nasty. I'm sorry. That's just
Yeah.
nasty. And it's like y'all are having kids, and this is what
And
y'all
I'm
want.
surprised that Ashley is freaking pregnant again. I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed a little bit. Lightweight. I was pulling for them. I want Bar to get his shit together, but this fool can't even he just barely got a GED. He has tattoos on his face. I think
Sometimes I ask myself, is MTV doing a service or a detrimental service? Because these girls are getting houses, money, cars, everything, and still acting like they ain't got no money. But they got plenty of money. So look at Caitlin, Kale, whatever her damn name is. Kale.
okay. Yeah, she quit.
Yeah, I know she
You
quit.
know she quit.
Yeah, because they think she pregnant again with somebody else, with another baby daddy. Yeah, yeah. So I'm
She
just
might be
saying,
having another one of Chris's kids.
it's her neighbor boyfriend that she moved. Neighbor boyfriend. They said it is. But the thing is, I must just say, sometimes I think MTV is doing a disservice to these young girls when these girls are making money, still having babies, and with multiple fathers, and it's what was the point of the show? The point of the show was they were struggling being a teen mom. Carol moved 5 or 6 houses. She'll have 4 or 5 kids with baby daddy.
I mean,
So
right.
I mean,
The
so what?
point is that in real life you're going to be struggling. In
Yes,
real life, you're not going to be on a TV show. In
yes,
real life, you're not going to be banking hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, because they also get endorsements
yes.
and things like that for products.
If you a teen mom, you don't get to go on like Hawaii with the nannies and all that. That's teen mom money paying for that. And thank God they're helping the kids with the trust fund. But I think at this point, I don't like teen mom because I think this MTV glorifies teen pregnancy, and it's not helping because these girls are making millions of dollars.
You know,
So
first year, some of those kids, those original kids are 13, Drea.
Yes.
Bentley and Amber's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
they're 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey,
yeah,
13.
So, I'm just good off of it. I'm good.
Right.
So.
All right. So do you think it's a hit it or a quit it?
I wouldn't watch it. I mean, I think the only thing I would watch is the Zach and Cheyenne little story. Then after I watch that, I would turn the TV off.
Only Zach and Cheyenne.
I really want to. I'm interested in that, and that's it. That's all I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay. All right. All right. So my other show that I really like is 60 Days In.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a show that I didn't watch the current episode last week, but I still reiterate from my ideas when we had the show last week. It's a great show.
Okay.
It's a show. You only reason why I didn't watch it last week because I was extremely like tired at the end of the night. Fred was hecka tired, and I knew we was gonna end up just watching it again on repeat. So I was like, we're not gonna watch it right now. We're gonna wait until we both like coherent enough so we can really watch it.
Okay.
Because we enjoy it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I mean, it really gives you some insight about. I mean, there are people there that's just like you and me that never intended to be there or nothing like that, and they're not necessarily bad people. But you end up in them type of places. So
Okay.
60 days in, I still think is a hit it. And I definitely think that it's a show that you can watch with your spouse or your significant other. So that's a hit it for me.
Okay.
That's a hit it for me. Um, and just to go over like because we usually do Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Atlanta. Um, they were both good. They were both good this past week.
Yes, it was.
They were both good. I just think that they were. I think that every season has like its shows where it's like it's kind of like a not a wrap up show, but like a like a get it together show.
Yes.
So it
Mhm.
wasn't no loud, explosive situations that happened on either show this week. I think both shows were in a state of
I did feel bad for Doctor Heavenly. Her mother's in hospice.
absolutely. I definitely feel for Dr. Heavenly with her
Yes.
mom in the hospice.
My mom said her mom was her best friend. So I think when her and Damon got into it, I don't think he realized how it affected her.
Hmm.
So I did think that. I lost my mom too, so I know what it is. So you know, knowing that she's in hospice now and she's gonna be gone. So
Yeah, I think the timing of all the stuff that's going on with the ladies is a little difficult. I mean, I think they have valid points
mhm.
about Dr. Heavenly, about things that she needs to work on. But I also think that timing is everything. And sometimes when you um in a certain space, that maybe she can't really hear that
Yeah,
right now
I think it was
because
bad
she's
timing
going
right now.
through it with her mom.
Yeah, bad timing right now.
Yes, it's a very difficult timing right now with her mom. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot
Yeah.
to deal. A lot to deal with. Um, the challenge.
Mhm.
Did you hear that they was coming out with a documentary?
Yeah, I put that on the armful thing. We can
Yeah.
check out the challenge. Check out Irv Gotti Murder Inc. Man, I watched stuff for 5 episodes, and I like Irv Gotti. I didn't like him, but I tell you, I do like Irv. I like his drive. I like his driven and how he wanted to take care of his family and everything.
I
And
always felt like he was a sincere and loyal person.
yes,
We don't. I mean, all of us don't always make the best decisions. You know what I mean? And I think that yes, he made some regrettable decisions, but I don't think that he made those regrettable decisions with the intent
yeah.
to harm anybody or hurt anybody.
Hmm.
You know,
So
sometimes
I watched it. I mean, I learned so much, and all the hits they had, I learned so much. I
about
mean,
where they came from and
yeah, Herb was a master, and I mean, great person. Hardworking, and they had him and his brother had the balls to say, "Look, the federal government, bring it on.
me. Right. It
Bring
wasn't
it
me.
We ain't going down. I ain't snitching on nobody. I don't know shit. Bring it on."
No,
It's a
good for them. I definitely felt good for them. When I seen him in another documentary, um, and he briefly touched on some of the stuff that they went through. And he really was just trying to look out for people he grew up with, but he was not like involved in the ways that the government was trying to say that he was involved.
yeah.
Things. He was just trying to look out for other people that he grew up with, you
That
know,
look like him.
that looked like him exactly, and he just got caught up in that. The challenge documentary, I don't want to say it took me off guard, but it was like damn, if you've been watching, like, and for a second I'm gonna say it made me feel like, oh god, it just aged me, right? Because
Yes.
the challenge documentary is like, really and truly, like, you've been watching that since the beginning. Like, if you watch Real World and Road Rules before there was any challenges, right? There were seasons of Real World and seasons of Road Rules before there were any challenges, before they decided, oh, what would happen if we put people from both these shows together in a competition challenge, right? So I think that's going to be good to, like, see snippets of, like, past challenge stuff and, like, catch it up to current time.
Yeah.
Cause have you seen? I know on I think it's, I want to say, oh god, I hate to mention something that I haven't made sure about, but it's on one of the streaming networks that you can watch all the past seasons. I think it's Paramount,
Okay.
that you can watch all the seasons of the challenge.
Mm.
Girl, have you seen what the footage used to look like?
No, I haven't paid attention.
Oh
No.
Jesus, it looked like old VHS tapes.
Okay. So I have to
Like,
watch it.
oh my gosh, it is so funny to look at the I don't know, the quality of the film from just, 2.5, 3 decades ago, than
Hmm.
to look at the quality of what things look like now.
Hmm.
Crazy. It's insane.
Okay. Okay.
So that's definitely an honorable mention. Look out for the challenge documentary and also the Murder Inc. story. It's on
On
Hulu.
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Uh, okay. And also, something that we wanted to give honorable mention, and we don't usually do this, but it was just so sudden and kind of like took us off guard, was the passing of comedian David A. Arnold. He passed away at only 54 years old. He was the writer, producer, and director of That Girl Lele on Nickelodeon, and he also had two Netflix specials, Fat Ballerina, and also It Ain't for the Weak. He used to have he has a saying, I don't want to say used to have, but he has a saying where he says, if you think you about that life, get yourself one of these things called a family, because it ain't for the weak.
True. Oh wow.
um, and yeah, it just has taken me, I know, off guard a little bit, to see that he passed away. Because I didn't believe it yesterday at first. I was like, what? Like, no way. Like, it was only a couple people reporting on it. It was only like maybe 30 minutes in, and I'm thinking, no, this is something that somebody's just, saying and bringing up, but it's not really real. Turns out it was really real.
Oh, okay. I said. That's what he
So,
said.
and he leaves behind a wife, Julie, and two beautiful daughters. So keep him in your prayers, and
Mm.
in your thoughts, and send good energy their way. They're saying he passed away of natural causes, and yeah, it just put into perspective. Kind of like where some of us are in our lives, and that tomorrow is not promised.
Yes.
Sometimes, even when you do everything you can in your power to try to ensure that tomorrow is promised, it's still not promised. I followed him a lot on his social media and stuff like that, and kind of discovered him myself during the pandemic. And him and his wife Julie had got into working out together, and he was really taking care of himself much better. But
Wow.
even with all of that, here we are at 54 years old, and he passed away in his home, apparently of natural causes, at
Okay.
54.
Wow.
So take care of yourself, guys,
Hmm.
girls. ladies and gentlemen in the chat, make your doctor's appointments, keep them, do your regular checkups that you should do, and keep on top of your health. You are the most important thing to you, not anybody else. Okay, so honorable mention to David A. Arnold and his family. And if you get a chance, check out his specials on Netflix, Fat Ballerina, and also It Ain't for the Weak. All right. And lastly, we want to remind you guys that tomorrow, Love and Marriage Huntsville is coming back on.
They say it's gonna be good. It's gonna be explosive.
Oh my gosh! They say it's gonna be good, huh?
Mm-hmm. So I wonder what Miss Wanda say, and Martell be fighting. So I can't wait to see it.
Love and Marriage Huntsville. They ain't disappointed so far. I know it's supposed to be some challenges with Kimmy and some things that she's going through. And also I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier in our episodes, a couple episodes ago, we had on a special guest that we did a great interview with. Her name was Belinda Sanders, and she appeared on Love and Marriage Huntsville in some episodes, and she's due to possibly appear in some episodes now that the hiatus is over. So check it out and check in to see if you see Belinda and some of the things that she has going on. You can also find her on Instagram. She does a lot of motivational things, and she has a book called Dear Future Husband. So check that out. All right. And again, Love and Marriage Huntsville comes back from hiatus tomorrow night on OWN at 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
So make sure you guys put your questions in the Tea Lady chat so we can see it. And we thank you guys for doing this show. We thank you guys for being here. And we're gonna be wrapping this up.
Yes, thank you for coming to sip some tea with us. Okay. Yes. And we're gonna hit you back next week. Our other host on the one. And we'll see you guys later.